I wanted to talk today about a realization that I had when it comes to NoFap. There are two different types of habits, right? So habits are like those daily behaviors that we do on a regular basis that we don't really put too much time and effort into. Okay. Whew, excuse me. The trouble that we lead into when it comes to behavior change is that we don't recognize that there are habits that we're trying to avoid doing, and there are habits that we need to or want to start implementing into our life. Whenever we remove a habit, so we want to like stop watching porn, or we want to stop jerking off, or whatever the case is, maybe it's to stop, this is not like physical, this is not like a therapist or a doctor's, I'm not a doctor or a therapist. I'm just making like a quick little, what I believe to be a part of like addictions of drugs and stuff like that is, and I see this especially in like from doing a lot of personal training, talking with people who have like an addiction to sugar, especially. You can't just concentrate on not doing the thing, right? Like, I'm not going to jerk off. I'm not going to eat sugar. I'm not going to smoke cigarettes. I'm not going to drink beer tonight. What you instead need to do is that you need to replace that set of behavior. You need to replace that habit. You need to find something else that kind of gives you the same response as you would have if you, let's say, jerked off or watched porn, and you instead did something that was more productive, that didn't make you feel so shameful and isolated in your own little world, So we can't just focus on getting rid of the behavior. We need to actually add something in. And I think that one of the most, if not, I will say that the most powerful behavior of anything that we can try to add in to help replace and to help exchange this behavior of watching porn and such with like a same type of response, kind of like the easiness of restlessness, kind of lowers your stress a bit, helps you become more present and concentrated, is meditation. Meditation is so slept on. And I think a lot of people kind of like think they do meditation, but they don't actually do meditation. Like, I'm talking about making it one of the biggest priorities in your life is no matter what, you're going to get your meditation. And I meditate 20 minutes every single day. There's no negotiations. It's like, for me, it's like working out. It's like breathing. It's like eating. It's like drinking water. It's just something that I do. I do it all the time. And I created that behavior in myself on purpose because I know what good it brings me. It is, without a doubt, the most necessary habit that you need if you're on this NoFap journey. Without a doubt. There is no doubt you need to be, doing that. That you need to be doing this. It's one of the most important things that you need to be doing. Like, I cannot stress it enough. And the reason for that especially is because, like I said, it's a behavior exchange. So instead of doing this, I'm going to do this. And it helps you acquire a lot of self-analyzation as to why you're in these habits in the first place. Like, kind of where did it come up from? It kind of helps you become more okay with being by yourself and just kind of doing your own thing. And I think that that's okay. We're all pressured heavily by society, especially young men. We're all pressured by society to, have that goal of depending on where you're from, kind of have like that dream of whatever it is, like to become a doctor or to become like a lawyer or go to school and become a nurse or whatever. But you have to really look at like these careers, and it's not just about grinding through school or grinding through these things to like, I have to go and work at this crappy job for 10 hours because I have to grind and that's what I have to do. If you need to do that like temporarily with a plan in mind of what you actually want to do, then I have full respect for you for doing that. And I think it's very important for us to do, to find something that is worth putting a lot of effort in where we're not going to get anything in return right now, but we can get things in return later. That's kind of like the most important thing for NoFap, is to realize that it's okay to put down gratification for now so that we can get better, higher quality gratification later. It is the most important thing for any human to possess in their life, is that ability to put off gratification now for gratification later. It's so crazy. It's like mind-blowing to even talk about. It's on such a deep level. And I also want to talk about like this idea of being present in just your day-to-day things. Like most of the things that you stress about that have like anxiety in your head, it's probably not real. And something that I've really come to realize is now that I'm like kind of back on a really good streak with NoFap, and I haven't watched any adult content. I've been kind of having some craving and some urges over the past few days. I'm really trying to just stay strong with it and trying to stay present with myself, to meditate and to take care of myself, and to be cognizant of my mental health, and just to keep myself disciplined to what I'm doing, and to really be excited for what I'm doing, and to constantly remind myself why I'm doing this. When I go through those struggles, when I have those urges, when I have those cravings, I think about what I want to accomplish in my life. I think about the family that I want to raise one day, and I think about these amazing things that I want to do with my life, and there's no way that I'll be able to do it if I keep watching porn. There's just no fucking way. And I think the same thing can go for many of you, and I hope that this kind of helps you reframe your mindset a little bit more. I hope it's something that you can kind of tell yourself, like, when you go through those dark times, you need to remind yourself why you're doing this. When you don't want to meditate, you need to remind yourself why you're going to do this. If you're working out and you're skipping it, you need to remind yourself why you're doing this on a deep level. It's so important for us to understand, like, what we don't want. So a life of watching porn and being like kind of a loser and being out of shape and being unhealthy and dying alone in a slow, painful death. Or it's a matter of living life to the fullest. And that, I think, is the most important thing that you can do. And I think that by giving yourself those 20 minutes a day to meditate, I use Headspace. It's a great app. It's absolutely outstanding. I love it. It's worth every penny. And that's the thing. You can't be afraid to invest. Like, we're so off on spending $200 or $300 for like a personal trainer, or for something that's really going to like provide us with a productive thought process. I'm not saying that you need to go spend a bunch of money, but it's amazing how we can spend all that, but then we'll spend $20, $30, $40, $50, $60 eating out a week, and it's like, wow, if I can't afford to do these things that are good for me, maybe I should stop doing these things that are bad for me. And most of the time we're in this behavioral loop that's trying to just put us in a worse spot. But if we can change that behavior, rather than think about not doing the things that we don't want to do, but we can replace those behaviors with something productive, it's going to work a lot more in your favor. So, guys, that's going to be it. I'm really tired. I got to go to sleep, and I will talk to you guys next time.